Okay, everybody, welcome to Awakening Soul Force Live. It's Monday night. Welcome to our Meditation Monday edition. Live from Lake Havasu, Arizona. This is Awakening Soul Force East, as I'm on vacation, a little vacation with my folks. So I'm pretty excited. We got the setup going here in Havasu, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna wait a minute and see who pops online. And just give it a moment as we settle in for our Meditation Monday. Tonight we're going to do a mindfulness meditation. Essentially, I'll take us through kind of the normal routine where we're going to set the grounding cord. We're going to set up basically an energetic protection. And then we're going to just do a few minutes of mindfulness to the rhythmic breathing track composed by Ron Garcia on the Awakening Soul Force Meditation Tracks album. So if you haven't checked that out yet, we would love for you to check it out on Google Play, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever floats your boat. Hi, Oksana. Welcome. New background, she says. That's right. So for the next several days, I'm going to be out of town from my normal place, and we're in Arizona for a few days. So for the next several broadcasts, we'll be broadcasting from Lake Havasu, which is pretty cool. So tonight, Monday, we're doing our normal Meditation Monday. Tuesday, we're going to do Tarot Tuesday. And then Wednesday night is a very special evening. My Faja is going to join me, the Dream Master, and we're going to break down people's dreams. A lot of you have sent dreams in already, which is really cool. We're already kind of taking a look at them and breaking them down and trying to find which ones we think maybe people can get the most use out of as far as learning and understanding how our dreams speak to us. So I'm really excited to be able to host or co-host with my dad Wednesday night for a special edition. And then Thursday, we'll be doing our normal live readings. So that'll be cool as well. Hi, Rebecca. Hello. Veronica. Hello. Oksana. Feeling emotional today. Need the little meditation. Yeah, this will be perfect then. All right, Veronica's on live. Good. All right, well, maybe this will help put you to sleep as well. All right. So let's just give it another minute to allow folks to jump on. They join us for Meditation Monday. And let me briefly talk about sort of the intention of tonight and what maybe we can get out of tonight's meditation. We're going to go through, like I said, kind of the normal routine of setting a grounding cord, connecting to earth, connecting to the heaven, setting some sort of an energetic protective bubble around us when we engage in this activity. And then really from there, I'm just going to kind of cut it loose and let you all sort of enter into your own state of mindfulness. And for those of you who might not be aware of or understanding exactly what mindfulness is really just awareness. So I want you to make a decision today where you want to draw your awareness in the minutes that we spend in stillness. And that could be just becoming aware of your thoughts and watching your thoughts like an observer. So just paying attention to that and watching them as if you were listening to the radio, not really engaging with them, not going down the rabbit hole, just listening to them as they arise, becoming aware of them, and then letting them come and go very naturally. It could be becoming aware and connecting to your environment. So what sounds do you hear? What does the temperature in the room or outside feel like? So it could be an environmental awareness, which I think is really, really helpful for keeping us very present in the moment. And then we could also become mindful in this time of what's going on inside of us. So just kind of opening up to, how am I feeling? How does my body feel? How about my toes, my ankles, my knees, my legs? So you could do an entire body scan. So I'm going to leave that up to you. But the main intention is to just be mindful and to pick a point of concentration and focus for the remainder of the meditation when we're in stillness, and just see what comes up and see how well you do with just kind of staying focused and concentrated on whatever particular thing you decide to become mindful about. Again, whether it's emotions, your environment, your thoughts, and we'll just see what comes up and then we'll talk about it. And then after, we'll discuss, what comes up and what that experience was like for you. And then I have a little bit of a discussion I'd love to have around some really great thoughts that have come from a book that I'm currently reading. Can the Mind Be Quiet? I thought it was a good time to discuss some of the info here in Jiddu Krishnamurti's book, Can the Mind Be Quiet, which was gifted to me by Tab, who's making comments. Hello, Tab. Welcome. Cool. So it looks like a few more people have had the opportunity to jump on. So If everybody's ready, let's go ahead and get to it for our Meditation Monday, a little mindfulness meditation. So before we begin, before I press play on this track, I want everybody to just kind of get comfortable wherever you are, whether you're laying down, whether you're sitting in a chair. Go ahead and close your eyes. And let's do 3 big energy clearing breaths. This is a wonderful practice before we do any kind of energy work, any kind of meditation. It's a really good way to just reset and become grounded in the here and now and reconnect to a very kind of neutral, energetic state. So go ahead and take a big deep breath in, filling yourself with white light. Exhale, release, breathe out. Another one, big deep breath in, filling yourself with light. Exhale, release, just settling into the here and now. One more time, big energy rinse, filling yourself up with bright, vibrant, luminous light, feeling lighter and lighter as you inhale. Exhale, release, just kind of settling into the here and now. Go ahead and keep your eyes closed. And let's turn our awareness to our breathing. Just become conscious of your breath. Take a big deep breath in through your nose. Slowly exhale out your mouth. Become aware of the slow and subtle rise and fall of your chest as you inhale and exhale. As we become more connected to our breath, more connected to our breathing, go ahead and enter to a rhythmic breath, your own pace, your own tempo. Big deep breath in to a count of 6, whatever your pacing is. Hold it for 3. Exhale for a count of 6. Hold it for 3. And continue to ease into this subtle, rhythmic breathing pattern that feels natural and in flow for you. As we become more and more connected to the breath, draw your attention and your awareness to the base of your spine. And on your next inhale, you're going to take a big deep breath in, inhale, and draw a vibrant, bright ball of white light from the base of your spine. Roll it up your lower back, up your spine, all the way up between your shoulder blades, up the back of your neck to the crown of your head, until you can actually feel the vibration of this luminous light dancing atop the crown of your head. And on your next big exhale, breathe out, roll this ball of light down the back of your head, down your neck, down between your shoulder blades, down your spine, all the way past your low back, until once again you become aware of the base of your spine. And on your next inhale, breathe in, fuse this ball of white light with the tip of your spine. Exhale, release, and drop a long grounding cord, like a long white extension of your spinal cord, extending from the base of the spine into the crust of the earth, burrowing down deep, 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 until you feel yourself anchored to the here and now by the weight of the earth's gravitational pull. As we make a connection to the earth and to the core of the earth, I want you to bring your attention and awareness to the soles of your feet. Go ahead and wiggle your toes as we set the intention to make connection to the divine earth beneath us. On your next inhale, breathe in, setting that intention to connect to the earth below. Exhale from the soles of your feet. You're going to spring these big, thick, reddish-brown roots like the roots of a redwood tree as they anchor you into the here and now, burrowing into the earth, connecting deeply with Mother Nature. On your next inhale, welcome in the divine light, love, and protection of divine earth. And a wave of vibrant orange light shoots up from the earth and into those roots, into the soles of your feet, all the way up through your calves, your knees, up your legs, up your hips, your torso, down your shoulders and arms, through the hands, and up through the neck, and then spilling up and out and around your head and around your body in a beautiful protective bubble of vibrant orange light. Give thanks for this opportunity to make this connection. And then turn your awareness to just above your head as you realize and recognize a bright and vibrant sun shining a beautiful golden white light as you set the intention to make a connection to the divine heaven above. Take a big deep breath in, setting that intention to welcome in the divine light, love, and protection of heaven. Exhale, release, and feel a cascade of golden white light pour down through the crown of your head and into your body, past your ears, down your neck, down your shoulders and arms, all the way through your torso, down your hips, your legs, through your knees, down through your calves, and then spilling out the soles of your feet and around you in another protective bubble of gold and white light. And give thanks for this opportunity to connect. Give thanks for this opportunity to enjoy the loving embrace of divine heaven and divine earth as they integrate into one protective field of divine light and love. And now for the next 5 minutes, we're just going to enter a state of mindfulness. Set your intention to focus either on your thoughts, your emotions, your being, your environment. And just turn your focus and concentration in this direction and just allow things to come and go. Becoming still, becoming mindful, unattached to what comes and goes, just observing, just watching for the next 5 minutes. want you to slowly and gently bring your awareness back to your body. Reconnect with your breath. Once again, connecting to the rise and fall of your chest. Go ahead and wiggle your toes. Become aware of the ground beneath your feet. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers. Become aware of your hands. Go ahead and roll out your shoulders. Just bring your awareness to your upper body. Go ahead and flex your neck side to side. Give a couple neck rolls. As we come back to our body, bringing our awareness back to the here and now. And whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes. All right. Give everybody a second here to come back, return from that little moment of mindfulness. How's everybody doing? How you feeling? Looking at some comments here. Victoria, new room, nice. Yeah, I'm actually on vacation here with my parents out of state, and we're broadcasting from a new place. So we'll be here for the next week or so. So the next several broadcasts will be from here in Arizona. Oksana asked, do you have a lake or water next to the house? Yes, it's not far away. It's like right down the road. So I can see where you got that. Totally makes sense. Roseanne says, thank you. Thank you so much, Roseanne, for being here. It's the least I can do. You have these wonderful meditations. Roseanne, if you guys haven't done Roseanne's meditations, Roseanne's voice is like, puts me in relaxation mode within milliseconds. It's really wonderful. So thanks for joining, Roseanne. So folks, I would love to know, I would love to hear from you. If you'd like to chat or type about what your experience was like in those moments of stillness, what came up for you. How was it to hold your focus and attention, to concentrate? Was it easy to be mindful? Did anything arise? Go ahead and start to type it out, and I'll tell you a little bit about what was coming up for me, which is kind of fun in a sense that I decided to just kind of go blank slate and focus on my breath and my breathing and being really connected to that for that time. And it was funny because the little thoughts that would arise were, what happens if the feed goes out? And you don't know because you're just sitting here or whatever. There was like a few things like that kind of crept in. And the cool part about meditation, when we practice and we get into this space of just being mindful or allowing things to arise without attaching to them, is there's no reactivity, right? We don't respond emotionally to what arises, because I could have very easily had a little panic when that thought arises, like, oh, what happens if the video feed cuts out, or if the thing is frozen? Like, I'm not monitoring the chat. What if people are coming in and asking questions? Like, those things could be arising, and if I allow myself to be sort of moved by those thoughts, then emotions can kick in, action can be taken. I'm kind of like pulled out of the concentration, right? And that's a very normal thing. And the cool thing about meditation over time is that it is a practice, and it's really just a concentration practice. We find meditation, I feel, we can find it in moments like this where we spent 5 minutes just being mindful of what comes up. We can enter into a sort of meditative state when we are gardening or doing yard work or painting and creating art, writing. Whenever we're in flow, really a meditative state is that state of just being in the moment, moment to moment. And we're fully consumed by the moment. And so that looks a lot of different ways. You may have, if you are familiar at all with Buddhist thought, Thich Nhat Hanh, stuff like that, talk about like walking meditation. And me, I'm a big believer that art, I think the creation of art, really the creation of anything that you throw yourself into and are fully kind of consumed by it, can be a form of meditation as well. So I'd be curious to hear about your experience in that state of stillness. What was coming up? How did it feel? How do you feel now that we've gone in, let ourselves be for a minute, and now we're back out of it? Or maybe we're still in it, which is a great thing too. Veronica says, that was beautiful. Found all the exciting going on of the weekend just passing by, and then I got a message. Ooh, very cool. Nice. And obviously that is not uncommon for that to happen as well when we're deep in meditation, for clarity to come, for messages or inspiration. Clarity is a key word, and it kind of just spontaneously came out here. And I feel like that might be a great opportunity to segue into a comment that I wanted to share from the book, Can the Mind Be Quiet?, which is really a collection of, it's actually a little bit hard to describe. It's kind of like these personal accounts of Jiddu Krishnamurti, who's a philosopher, a spiritual teacher of sorts. Incredible mind, and these are almost like stories of him recounting dialogues that he had with people, whether they came to hear him talk or they were sitting with him. So it's kind of like a brief story about the interaction or what the day was like with the person. And I find it really cool because you feel like you're reading, this little short story, because he's describing things that are very meditative, very mindful. He's talking about what the birds are doing, what the weather was like. There's these details in his story that are really, they seem kind of subtle and mundane, but when we're really connected to a meditation practice or to the moment, to being mindful, those are things that we notice, right? So I really enjoy that aspect of what is going on in this book. And then he gets into the dialogues, and then there's these kind of like these transcriptions of what took place in the dialogues. And a chapter that I just read, I'll read you the name of the chapter. Oh, I messed it up. Choice exists only when the mind is confused. So there's a quote from Krishnamurti about when there is clarity, there is no choice. And I'll let you sit with that for a second. When there is clarity, there is no choice. And I find this to be a pretty profound, short little nugget of truth and wisdom, and to make it sort of relatable and to help walk us into what he's talking about, right, is we all kind of always know, right? In a lot of cases, in most cases, there's always something inside of us that we have a pretty clear knowing, and we talk about clear knowing as far as it being an intuitive sense that we work with in some of the dialogues and discussions that we have. There's always a pretty clear knowing, whether it's, should I take this job? Is this relationship serving my highest good? Do I like the community that I live in? Whatever it is. And it can be very mundane too. Do I want to have McDonald's for breakfast? And he gets into talking about how when we have clarity, there is no choice because there's no deliberation, right? It's the hemming and hawing of our mind and our thoughts, kind of rummaging through, oh, is this a good choice? Is this a bad choice? Should I do that? Well, I don't know. It's kind of hot outside. I want to go to the lake, but it's too hot to go to the lake. And it's like we get in our mind and we start to intellectualize and dissect things, up here. So when he says when there is clarity, there is no choice, he's talking about living in a space where we're sort of out of our mind, And it's funny because we talk about being out of our mind. It's used it's used in a colloquial way, and it kind of sounds like derogatory or has a bit of a negative slant to it. Oh my God, that guy's out of his mind. That woman's out of her mind. But really, in a way, that's a really good thing to be out of. When we exist out of just a headspace and we're more in a beingness, kind of a more intuitive knowing, and a flow of what feels resonant for us, what we feel compelled to do in a powerful kind of from an inward movement rather than thoughts, that just come, or deliberation. So I wanted to throw that quote out there and just talk a little bit about it to give it some context, to give me something to do for a couple minutes while I'm still alive, and give you all something to think about. When there is clarity, there is no choice. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this nugget, whether it's now, in the future. You could drop an email, jeff@thesoulforce.com. You can shoot me a message if you want, and we can have a little back and forth about it, because that's fun, and that's what we do as humans. But I would love to know your thoughts on that little piece of wisdom from Krishnamurti that I thought was really powerful. It's a nice little quote that can help remind us to just live and to just be, and to trust our instincts, and to trust our intuition, to trust our gut, and to trust wherever that's going to take us on our journey, and in the process, because that's something that we don't do a whole lot of, I think. So there's an element of surrendering that also is present, in like a meditation that we did tonight. Kind of like when I said the thought pops up, oh, what happens if the video feed cuts out and I don't know? And I have to surrender to that possibility that actually might happen, and everything's going to be fine. Like that's part of the practice. That's part of, to me, the cool part about sitting in stillness like that, and allowing ourselves to sort of just be an observer of the inner movements of our mind or our emotions or whatever. So some things to think about. Let's see what came up for people. We got some more comments here since I've been jammering away for a few minutes. Rebecca says, beautiful, thank you. My intention was to focus on the feelings arising in the stillness. I was drawn to the emotion of joy repeatedly, but I kept being pulled out of it by thoughts. I think there is some connection to allowing. Beautiful waves of violet colors coming through. Very lovely. Oh, nice. It's interesting that you bring up the thoughts. Very on point with what we're talking about tonight. The mind kind of like trying to get in there and like say something about what's happening. Oksana says, emotions for me, I felt tearful and my heart was contracting. Then I felt like saying, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe. Self-love words to me, and I felt release. But then I had tightness in my throat, which released a bit as I was telling myself affirmations, feeling a bit more relaxed and content. That's nice. Yeah, and it's interesting, sometimes in meditation, we feel tension like that arise kind of in our body. And, it's interesting to do some of our own investigating and inner looking at what that is and what's arising in that way. Obviously for me, when I do my intuitive readings, the whole practice is what we're talking about, actually. It's me kind of like making myself a blank slate, and then I just kind of open up to what comes up, trusting in that what's coming through has resonance, that has value to whoever I'm connected with, right? And that is being just aware of the sensations that kind of bubble up out of stillness. So I know when I get tightness in my throat, when I'm reading for somebody especially, or even for myself in a meditation, that I'm drawn to the throat chakra. And so I do a little bit of inner looking at my communications, thoughts, language, words that are exchanged, what I'm writing, what I'm speaking, what I'm listening to and hearing. And obviously that's going to change for everybody, but one of the big things that was important for me to connect to was kind of each chakra in the chakra system. That when I do readings for people, when I'm doing work with myself energetically, I am drawn to whatever energy center and what's arising in that energy center. And then I do my own process of inner looking at that. So it's great to allow those things to come to your awareness and kind of take a deep dive at what's coming up. Kate says, Oksana, thank you for that. And then Kate says, initially Jesus, my main man these days, walking towards me with arms wide open in this magical white gold light. Beautiful. Too many choices, but knowing purpose and knowing the need to get out of the current space. And then she asks, how does it feel to be somewhere different? Arizona is up on my screen, and I've been pulled there in Cali. I love it here. We've been coming here for a long time. So it's been a family destination for vacation for many years. And my folks wound up grabbing a place here. Nice, cozy little spot. And it's different, it's different than California. For various reasons. And it's more rural out here. It's a smaller town vibe. and it's hot. So if you don't mind being 100 degrees, it was like 98 today. If you don't mind the heat, it's not a bad spot to be. Tab says, what if there's a fire on the 4th floor? Tab, that's a great question. When there's a fire on the 4th floor and your instinct tells you to get the F out of the house, that's what you do. So when there is clarity, there is no choice. You just move. Good question. Victoria says this quote really resonated with her yesterday and today, pertaining to a friend. Interesting. When there was no clarity and no choice needed, I knew what was acceptable as a friendship. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, Oksana, I definitely think you're tuning into the Havasu area if you're seeing a lake. Veronica says, the heart space is the place I created the Unity Festival from. I trusted and acted upon the guidance, and that came. That's awesome. Yeah. Veronica held a really nice little festival over the weekend and allowed me to hold some space in there, hold a meditation, which was really cool. So we thank Veronica for holding that down in her respective area and with her network. It's always great when we can create community together. Oksana asks, what do I do if I still feel tightness in my throat? I would ask. I would go in and spend a little time after we sign off here and kind of just tune in and just ask intuitively what's coming up. What is this? Where is this coming from? You know, we will give our higher self and our inner voice will give us answers. So I would recommend sitting with it and asking questions and inquiring. Process of inquiry is ever ongoing. All right, folks. We're about 35 minutes here, so I usually don't want to take up too much of everybody's Monday night. We enjoyed a nice meditation together and had a nice little discussion after the fact, which I'm really thankful for. So hopefully you all had a nice meditation. If you have any other questions or comments you'd love to share, feel free to keep the thread going, or you can reach out to me by email, jeff@thesoulforce.com, or by message here on Facebook. Tomorrow night we're doing Tarot Tuesday. So we'll pull some collective cards and talk about what is present in the collective energy for everyone. Wednesday night, again, a special dream analysis edition with my dad, the Dream Master, the original gangster of dreams in the household. He's going to be on, and him and I are going to kind of co-host the show and break down some dreams. So we've already had a bunch of dreams submitted. If you have some that you'd love us to look at, feel free to send them over because, well, I'm just sitting around doing this. So would love to see what is out there and see what is going to be the best kind of teaching material, the best stuff for us to look at and break down so that we can and get as much out of the session as we possibly can, this special edition. So that's Wednesday night, and then Thursday night we'll be doing the live readings, and I'm looking forward to that as always. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a beautiful evening, have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow for Tarot Tuesday. See ya.